Hello there, it's still very early on this absolutely beautiful day out today, and I am just sitting enjoying the view of my garden and being so proud of myself to have made it to week 8 on OMAD. On the one hand, it feels like I've been doing this my whole life. But there's been some days that this felt like I can't live like this for the rest of my life because of hunger. That does haunt me some days. It is definitely getting better, fewer and further apart moments of hunger. And another YouTuber on OMAD said to me that he barely experiences hunger anymore on OMAD. So there's hope. And I know it's going to get easier and easier and easier. Look, at week 8, there's no turning back for me. I am absolutely committed wholeheartedly. Plus, I love it. I love the emotional freedom it gives me to not be bound to food the way I used to be. I want to live this way. I want to live in this self-control, and there's absolutely no turning back for me. This is a lifestyle for me, and I can see I'm going to be doing this up to week 8. I would like to give you my tips on combating hunger. It's not in any specific order, it's just the way I thought of them. I think there's almost 30, and try some of them. They might do something for you, they might help. I use different ones at different times, different hunger needs, different tips. But this is what I have found to help me. Some of them are just my own idea, lots I found on the internet. So I'd just like to share with you what I've discovered. The first thing is ask yourself, is this insane, intense hunger feeling you're feeling, is it really, really hunger? Is it really true hunger? Is this my body just really needing food to sustain itself, or is there an emotion behind it? So try and look behind the hunger feeling, if there's maybe boredom or anxiety or a feeling of being very tired, or stress or sadness or extreme excitement. Try and see if there is maybe an emotion that's asking for food and not your body. That's always something I ask myself. What's really, really happening? Then I try to shift the focus from my meal or my food or my hunger to the benefits of fasting. And I'll often just watch a few more clips on autophagy and the benefits that brings to your system. Just see if you can change the focus from the extreme hunger to the amazing benefits of being in your 23-hour fast. If you are tempted to eat something outside your eating window, put it in a plate. Get a plate. Don't just take it out of a jar or off a plate or from a serving dish standing around. Get yourself a plate and put that thing you want to eat in a plate and tell yourself, okay, I'm now going to be eating this outside of my eating window. How am I going to feel after I've indulged in this? Imagine I'm now done eating this. How am I going to feel? That normally also puts me off. I don't want to go fetch a plate and make it official. So that helps me a lot. And in the times around meals when the hormone ghrelin, I call it gremlin, is being released, and you are busy prepping food, not a good idea to, but that often happens. I have to prep food often in times when I do get haunted by the hormone ghrelin and hunger is awakened, a normal natural process. Um, do not lick your fingers. Do not taste the food just to check if there's enough salt in. Don't get any of the food into your mouth in under any circumstances, because when you're in that peak phase of hunger and you are dealing with food, make sure your teeth are brushed and you've got a fresh mouth. Make sure you've got something to sip on, warm tea or iced tea, whatever. But do not taste the food. Don't put anything in your mouth, not the tiniest of a bite. That will very severely derail your fasting phase. Well, for me, it will. So just do not get anything in your mouth. Okay. Now, just a couple of specific tips. First one is breathing. Oh, this has been such a lifesaver to me. Breathe. That to me is my number one go-to for battling with severe hunger. Breathing. There's amazing clips on the internet, exercises. There's a doctor, I'll see if I can find his link, explaining 3 very useful, easy methods of breathing. Breathe into that hunger. Feel how your breath goes into that hunger and blow it out through your mouth and release it back into the atmosphere, not being inside of you anymore. Breathe is a big one for me. Changing your focus often again, and think of things that you're grateful for. Think of whatever, your beautiful children, your happy marriage, your job, your whatever makes you happy and whatever you are grateful for. Think of that. Just run through a couple of, tell yourself you've got to think of 10 things you're grateful for. It will also change your mood. And remember to tell yourself you can have this thing that you are now desperately wanting to maybe put in your mouth. You're just going to have it at your next meal. Put it on a plate and tell yourself it's waiting there for you. It's not that you're not allowed to ever have it in your life. You'll have it when it's your meal. Put it on a plate or in a dish and save it in the fridge. And that'll be your part of your meal when mealtime comes around. And then stretching. Stretching also helps me a lot. Some very awesome, easy stretches on the internet as well. Easy yoga, but just basic stretching often helps me. Just getting oxygen into my muscles, into my arms, into my fingertips, onto my forehead, into my legs. Just do some stretching, basic stretching. You can even just do things that feels easy to you, bending down, twisting, stretching. That really helps me. Sun gazing, loads of information on that. I do sun gazing for about in between 20 minutes and an hour almost every day if we don't have clouds. I attempt to do it. I've got a beautiful sunset view from my backyard. I'm very fortunate to have that. If there's any way you can do sun gazing, eat the sun. It really fills you up. It really helps, and it lasts for hours and hours. You'll feel the benefits the next day still. Music. I love putting on some very loud music in the kitchen while I'm cooking or prepping food for the family or myself, and it's not my eating window yet. Music, I love loud, funky music. That really helps me. Sniffing on essential oils. Peppermint oil is one of the big ones to suppress appetite. I have a little bottle of peppermint oil in my bag, and I just open the lid and just sniff it, and I even try and inhale it through my mouth without it touching my lips or anything. Really also helps. And then a big one that I also love doing, and I could do this all day, is take a nice hot bath. I think it lets your metabolism slow down a little bit, which is what you want when you're in that extreme hunger. Take a bath, put in Epsom salt, bicarb, essential oils like lavender, and I even put gemstones in my bath. I always have rose quartz. Have a relaxing bath that with beautiful smells, music, color, you can really make it special. And I sometimes have 2 or 3 baths a day. Not often, but I would use that in an extreme hunger, and I love it. That really helps me a lot. Otherwise, I'll often just go for a brisk walk. I'll just walk around my house a couple of times. That's outside your exercise time. And skipping rope. I've got a skipping rope lying around. Do some skipping. Also takes your attention off the food. Skipping really, really helps. Brush your teeth. Make sure you've got a nice fresh breath and tongue. Brush your tongue. There's sweetness in toothpaste, and that definitely helps with just not wanting to put food in your mouth when your mouth is nice and fresh. I've been adding ginseng tea. I'll share the video of Thomas explaining, I can't remember, yeah, I'll see if I can find that specific video on why you should have some ginseng tea in your other tea. So I have it in my green tea, iced green tea daily, and I definitely think that helps with hunger. The green tea I cannot live without. Since I've been able to stomach it by having it as a iced tea, it's been very easy to enjoy my green tea, and that really brings so much calmness, and it really helps so much for hunger. I cannot live without my green tea, my iced green tea. I'm going out to friends today, and I've already prepped my bottle, and that's going with me. Fit into the clothes that are still too small for you. That will also remind you what the journey is. I often will just try and fit into the jeans that's still too small for me. Helps me a lot. Ginger, cardamom, cinnamon tea that I just boil on the stove also helps. I'll often take a few sips of my probiotic. I've got a liquid, calorie-free probiotic that I buy locally from our farmers market. It's harvested from soil bacteria in our area. Probiotic really helps as well for hunger. I sprinkle salt on a plate and drizzle lemon juice over that and lick it up with my finger. I know that's weird, but I don't think it's awesome on your teeth, but in a emergency that really helps. A foot massage. If you've got kids, get your kids to give you a foot massage with some essential oils. Wow, that's also awesome. Do not forget to have your apple cider vinegar water. Even in hectic hunger, just make a fresh glass of apple cider vinegar water. That apple cider is awesome. You've got to have that. I also have zeolite that I'll drink. It's a volcanic ash. It helps for detoxing. Zeolite is awesome. A big treat for me, especially on outings, is sparkling water that I would have some apple cider vinegar in. I love that. Sparkling water is a big treat and a reward for me. Chewing on ice can help. Burn some incense and meditate. You can also just take a nap. Sometimes severe tiredness can make you hungry. Take a nap. Take a quick nap. And then do an enema. I know that sounds weird, but that also makes you feel clean and fresh and detoxed. Definitely getting some toxins out of your system that might be plaguing you with what you think is hunger. Do an enema. And that's my tips for dealing with hunger.